Hey everyone, welcome back to the Musicians Creating Prosperity podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Fabiana Claure, and in today's episode, we dive into the best strategies for maintaining balance during the busy holiday season. How you can go from just surviving the holidays to actually thriving and using this opportunity to reflect, to reconnect, and to reignite new ideas that can help you grow your business even further. Let's dive in. In this episode, I'm going to share how you can actually become empowered to use the holidays to build momentum in your business messaging. You see, everything in entrepreneurship is about turning challenges into opportunities. If you think about how nature works, when fish are swimming upstream in the river, each time they encounter a rock, what do? They swim faster in order to overcome it. They don't swim slower. They go faster. That's how they build momentum and get to the other side of that rock in the middle of the water. The same thing happens with the holidays. If you are on a momentum in your business and you're excited about where you're going, or if you are in a growth trajectory, creating changes, making modifications, trying to overcome some things that you're having to deal with, when the holiday season comes, whether it's New Year's, whether it's any festivities that you celebrate or that your clients celebrate or that your audience celebrates, being able to understand how your services can actually complement whatever celebrations are going on in your audience members and in your clients' world, your product, your service, your solution can be a catalyst for more enjoyment, more festivities, more success, and ultimately align yourself with the season that you're in with the holidays instead of see it as an interruption or a distraction. I'm very aware that there are scheduling challenges, especially if you are a parent and you have young kids and just all of a sudden finding your household in a new dynamic, in a new environment where perhaps your kids are no longer in school, they're at the house, and you're having to juggle, keeping things afloat and balance and alignment while you're also taking care of your family and just doing all the things that you normally wouldn't have to do at one time. So yes, there is a disruption in your schedule. And this is why this episode is hopefully going to give you some strategies to learn how to cope with those disruptions and not let them become a deterrent in the growth and the momentum that you've been building in your music business or any business you're doing really leading up to this point. Now, number one thing you're going to want to focus on is not seeing the holidays as an impediment for whatever steps you're wanting to take. Instead of seeing it as something that's going to stop your growth, stall your progress, being able to ask yourself, how can you evolve your messaging, the content of what you're sharing, the frameworks that you're building towards your audiences and your customers? How can you adapt your offer to fit whatever theme is happening in the holidays? I mean, think about it. If you're a music educator or performer, what better way to create desire for your services and your programs than to encourage your students and your clients to improve their musical skills, to develop and push and lean into optimizing their ability to share music with others, precisely because during the holidays, you can gather around, you can have people around you, you can share your musical experiences, your gifts, and create an even more joyous experience of festivities when most of your students may be telling you, oh, I'm going to stop lessons or I'm going to not start this until after the holidays. How can you become very strategic in finding ways to actually say, no, don't stop because of the holidays. Don't take time off because of the holidays. Don't think you need to deter from your musical journey. In fact, what if I could help you? Let's say you're a music educator. What if I could help you prepare to share your music during the holidays, to create a beautiful in-home performance for your family or your friends, and actually lean into using the holidays as an opportunity to accelerate the growth of your journey, the development of your musical progress instead of deterring from it. And so many times, if you have any sort of service or offer or product, this time of the year, most of the times you make offers and you try to enroll people in your programs, people will want to push that after the holidays. Yes? I can feel you smiling listening to this. How many times people are saying, yes, this sounds great. I want to start your music lessons. I want to do this, but I'm going to start after the holidays. I'm going to wait. And instead of saying, oh my goodness, I wish we were not in the holiday season, I wish this was not an impediment, what if you turn that around and say, actually, if you could learn this for the holiday season, then you're actually going to have a better time sharing this with your friends or doing this, right? So it's on your savviness to be able to turn what would be an excuse not to do things into the very reason why they should. That's the first step. The second step is time management. Yes, as I said, I'm aware of the conflicts that happen when we are dealing with, having everyone in the house, having a disruption in the schedule, and being able to recognize that you may not be able to do everything you usually do. You don't have your normal routine. things are kind of upside down, coming into this season with a peace of mind that it will be different and that you don't have to continue doing all the things you were doing outside of the holiday season, but instead choose the top 2 or 3 absolute urgent things you want to put all your energy and attention on, and be okay not trying to keep the same level of momentum in your tasks and activities and strategies. So for example, if you were working on building your website, going on social media, creating a video course, making a live event, publishing a book, releasing an album, whatever it is that you were working on before you hit the holiday season, to make it clear to yourself that now your goals need to be adjusted to your bandwidth. And ultimately, yes, I think using the holiday season as a way to continue building on the momentum of whatever you were working on is a great thing. So you don't blame the holidays for your lack of progress. But at the same time, the holidays are an opportunity to reset and refresh and regenerate and connect and build memories. So you don't want to forget that this is a season for you to enjoy it too. Not for you to feel like, oh, this is a nuisance that is just like in the way of my growth. And I know for many type A personalities, and I certainly felt like that in many instances, it's like, oh, I just want to get over this so that I can get back to just producing and creating and building, right? This kind of builder mentality. No, take advantage of the fact that you have now a disruption that could actually become a breakthrough in your imagination and give you ideas that would have never occurred to you had you kept working and doing what you had been doing before this interruption happened. Meaning, if you've ever been in the middle of a shower and all of a sudden this epiphany comes to you when you're just like not thinking about an idea, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Or you wake up in the middle of the night with this brilliant idea or solution to a problem you were thinking during your conscious time, your awakened hours. It comes to you in the middle of the night and it literally wakes you up. You know what happens is that when you change the frequency of your brain and you give it time to rest and process your day-to-day life, actually you start coming up with ideas and solutions from a place of regeneration, of being recharged, of being replenished. And chances are those ideas, those solutions that you came up with would not have been possible had you not stopped what you were doing. I know many times when I was practicing a piece and trying to polish it for an upcoming recital or performance, I would get stuck on a piece of music and this passage I was going repeating over and over again. And I would feel like I'm just hitting a brick wall. And all of a sudden I would say, okay, I'm just going to stop. I'm just going to take a pause. I'm going to step away from this piece. I'm going to maybe play a different piece or just leave the practice room altogether, go for a walk or go eat dinner or do something, watch a movie, start the next day. And that disruption, that break, that pattern interrupt that I created mentally gave my brain a chance to recharge, to replenish. And the next day when I started practicing again or tried tackling that difficult passage that wasn't coming through the day before, it started working again because I broke the pattern. I interrupted the repeat motion. Same thing happens in our business. If you're just pushing through, hustling all day long, you don't give yourself those pattern interruptions, those opportunities to just stop what you're doing and start thinking in other ways and encountering other thoughts, surrounding yourself by other people, then you're just going to be stuck in the grind all the time and find yourself that you're working extremely hard only to not really get to where you want to be. So embrace the holidays, yes, as a disruption, but also a healthy one. Don't resent it. Don't resist it. Don't try to just go through it quickly to get to the next side, but embrace it as a time to regenerate, to rejuvenate, to build more connections, right? So many times we have family members that we don't get to see during the year because everyone is working and they're busy. The holidays can be that opportunity to refill your cup and replenish and reconnect with your loved ones. Take the time for it. I mean, make it a point, make it a beautiful opportunity. We need connection. As human beings, we cannot be just about work. We need to build relationships. The studies that have been done in many different countries and generational awareness studies of longevity factors, what are the ways that people can live the longest and enjoy their lives to the fullest? It used to be thought that it was diet, that it was exercise, that it was health habits and all these factors, which are important. They can determine the lifestyle, the longevity. But the biggest realization was that the number one factor for longevity was social connection. How much can you interact with people? How deep are your relationships? And it doesn't have to be friends that you talk to every single day. It can be encountering people in your day-to-day activities, talking to your barista who gives you coffee every day when you go to this place, or just talking to a coworker and developing a bond in this way casually. I mean, just developing human connection, relationships, building your support system around you actually be as life-giving and life-prolonging as eating all organic foods or exercising every day. It's actually the highest factor for longevity. Refuel your cup. Replenish those connections during the holidays. Why not? If it's going to help you build long lasting and sustainable life, use it as a chance to actually go deeper in something that is so important, and be present. In order for you to enjoy this, it'll have to come from a place of surrender, not from a place of resentment. Oh, okay, now I have to do this because the holidays are here. No, get to do it. You get to do that when you make the decision of embracing the disruption while also strategizing on how to leverage it in your messaging, not let that become a source of interruption for your business. The other thing that you can do during the holidays is create time for planning and looking ahead and being able to say, okay, I'm at this point in my year, in my life. Where do I want to go from here? The holidays, the end of a season, the end of a month, the end of a year, they're all touch points that we've built in our civilization. We don't just go by the sun and the earth and the moon. We have actual dates that we determine to be the beginning of something and the end of something else, right? The end of a month, the end of a week, the end of a year. These are all milestones that we've built as part of being in this society that can actually be very frustrating to those who haven't been thinking ahead of what you want to achieve. If you are not developing the habit of resetting your goals and setting new ones every 90 days or so, chances are if you create a big goal and you only touch upon it in January when the new year kicks in and you're just like, I want to achieve this, but then that's the last time you visited that goal until the end of the year. And you're like, now what happened with my goal? Well, you didn't give it enough contact. Think of it as a contact sport. You have to be constantly interacting with your goal and you have to be coming back to it and asking yourself, what is my goal? Where do I want to go from here? What do I need to do to get there? Who do I need to become in order to reach that? Asking yourself those key questions. One of the best times to do that is in the holidays. Number one, because you're more refreshed. You're not as just busy and buried in distractions of the day-to-day things you normally do. And also because it gives you a chance to have a milestone in your year, to be able to say, up until this point, I'm achieving these results. Moving into the next stage, I want to achieve these other results. And it becomes like a mile marker. When you're driving in the highway, you see the mile markers, like step 1 kilometer, 3 kilometers, whatever, miles, whatever. That's what you can use the holidays for, is become those mile markers for your goals. At this point in my life, I have these goals. This is what I want to achieve. Maybe by the next holiday, your goals have evolved, which is okay too. But if you don't come back and give yourself this opportunity to reflect, to reevaluate, to reassess where you want to go from here, you're just constantly going to be like in the hamster wheel, going to the next thing and just trying to deal with the next thing without giving yourself a pause to step back, take a higher view of your reality, of your perspective, and to be able to say, okay, here's where I am, here's where I want to go, here's what needs to happen for me to get there. Taking the time to look at this season and to say, this is an opportunity for me. This does not have to be a detraction. This can be a way for me to grow and lean into a better version of myself, to potentially get many, many more people to join my programs because of the opportunities that arise, and being strategic in how to turn what would be a reason for your students to say no, turn it into the very reason why they should say yes. Being strategic in that, and then ultimately also being able to create your own boundaries, to create your own alignment, to be able to nourish yourself so that you can nourish those around you. Looking at this as an opportunity for healthy pattern interrupt instead of a distraction will help you approach the holidays with hope, a sense of optimism, and an opportunity for reinvigoration and reinvention. I hope this helps. Happy holidays. Until next time, let's prosper together.